Elon Musk's new AI project will create 10 times more millionaires than Tesla did, and if you buy a certain stock before August 6th, you can grab a piece of the riches. This is Dylan Jovine's pitch in his latest teaser. I reveal the stock he's pitching for free so you don't have to buy his newsletter. No paid or proprietary info is given away here, and it's all guesswork based on clues in Jovine's publicly available presentation. Let's quickly look at recent picks from Jovine to see how good he is. He recommended biotech stock Editas, but it hasn't done well. Jovine recommended Palantir in August 2023, and this was an excellent stock pick and exploded right after. In January 2024, Jovine recommended 4 defense stocks and the first Leidos, and it's up a good amount since. The second stock from January 2024 was once again Palantir, and again this was an awesome time to buy. The third stock was Elbit Systems, and this was another home run pick from Jovine. AeroVironment was the last stock, and this one has doubled as well. So these were a great set of stock picks from Jovine. In May 2024, Jovine recommended 2 space stocks, and the first was Big Bear, and this stock is up several 100% since. ARM Holdings was the second stock, and this one is up too. So Jovine is definitely on a stock picking win streak right now. Let's see if his latest pick will keep the momentum going. Let's look at Jovine's newest teaser and try to figure the stock out now. Here's what the headline says: Elon's final move. Starting August 6th, Elon's new AI venture could create 10 times more American millionaires than Tesla did. Here's the backdoor way to play Musk's private AI startup. You see these backdoor investment pitches a lot from stock pickers. Here's how it goes. Elon created a new AI company called XAI, and their chatbot is called Grok. However, this company is private, so most investors don't have access to investing in it because it's only for accredited investors. This means having an income over $300,000 or a net worth of over $1 million. Private investments are risky because your money is stuck until the company goes public, but you can make insane gains with private investments. So Jovine is claiming to know a public company that works with Elon and XAI, and their stock will explode as a result. That's the backdoor investment summed up. Jovine believes Elon will dominate AI, calling him the George Washington of AI. Jovine continues that thought and says, but very few people know that Elon's also an AI pioneer. In fact, you can see him as the George Washington of modern AI. Elon bought into AI company DeepMind at the angel stage in late 2010. Google scooped up DeepMind for $650 million 4 years later. Even though Elon said his aim with DeepMind was to understand AI, not to make money, he still pulled in a 13x return on his angel stake. Jovine continues and says that wasn't Elon's biggest move as an AI pioneer, because he co-founded OpenAI, the company that launched ChatGPT. So Jovine is really pushing Elon's AI credentials and trying to show why he thinks Elon's latest AI venture will be a hit. And obviously he wants you to think the investment he's pitching will explode as a result. Jovine really hypes up Elon's new venture, saying it could be 100 times bigger than ChatGPT. He says this because the AI will be used in his cars and robots, and thus has a much higher ceiling. Jovine points out that Elon has already made many millionaires with 3 different companies: PayPal, SpaceX, and Tesla. And he thinks this will be the 4th and biggest. Let's look at the specific clues left for us now and figure out stock Jovine is pitching. Jovine says the backdoor way to profit from Elon's new AI startup. But first, I need to give you the full uncensored picture. I need to point out the biggest problem with the growth of AI. There's an extreme shortage of GPUs. Without these chips, there's no AI. It's that simple. So from this, it's clear Jovine is pitching AI chips. And in the next section, Jovine says, my number one AI stock makes AI chips 2.4 times stronger than NVIDIA's. So he's not talking about NVIDIA. And Jovine continues and says, in fact, this company could be even better than NVIDIA, because their new AI chip is almost 2.5 times stronger than NVIDIA's chips. That's why they've even received praise from Musk himself. Wall Street has taken note of this huge opportunity, because 19 billionaires have already bought into Elon's number one AI stock, along with 91 hedge funds, and the top 2 asset management firms in the world. And it's not just Tesla, because this incredible company counts Apple, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, IBM, and Cisco as clients. And finally, Jovine says, and Amazon, probably worried about getting left behind, wants to partner with Elon's number one AI company to power its AI cloud services. The federal government loves my number one AI company too. The Department of Energy uses their chips. So does the Pentagon. NASA even deployed the company's chips on Mars. The company being pitched here is AMD. Here's the top 10 things to know about this stock, and after I'll tell you if I'd buy. Advanced Micro Devices has established itself as a leading semiconductor company specializing in CPUs, GPUs, and AI accelerators. With a market capitalization of approximately $259 billion as of mid-2025, AMD continues to strengthen its position across 4 key segments: data center, client computing, gaming, and embedded solutions. AMD reported strong financial results for Q1 2025, delivering $7.4 billion in revenue, which represents impressive 36% year-over-year growth. The company achieved a GAAP gross margin of 50% and a non-GAAP gross margin of 54%, highlighting its improved operational efficiency. GAAP operating income reached $806 million, while non-GAAP operating income came in at $1.8 billion. Earnings per share were 44 cents on a GAAP basis and 96 cents on a non-GAAP basis, reflecting robust profitability and continued momentum in AMD's business. AMD's data center segment shows explosive growth driven by ePYC CPUs and Instinct GPUs. Client and gaming demonstrated strong performance with Ryzen Zen 5 CPUs, despite a 30% decline in gaming specifically. The embedded segment faced headwinds with mixed demand causing a slight decline. A major growth driver for AMD is its rapidly expanding presence in AI and data center markets. The company's new MI350 series GPUs deliver up to 35 times the performance of the previous generation, attracting major customers like Meta, Microsoft, and Oracle, with Oracle building a cluster of 30,000 MI355X GPUs. With this momentum, AMD expects AI GPU sales to scale into the tens of billions of dollars over the next few years, positioning the company for significant future revenue growth. AMD continues to strengthen its competitive position across all major product categories. In the CPU market, the company holds a 33% market share compared to Intel's 63%, and is steadily gaining ground thanks to its superior performance per watt. In the GPU space, AMD maintains the second largest market share after NVIDIA, with a growing presence in both gaming and professional segments. The company is also making waves in AI accelerators, offering competitive pricing and performance versus NVIDIA's H100, giving customers a viable alternative. Overall, AMD is making significant inroads against both Intel and NVIDIA in their respective strongholds. Analyst ratings for AMD reflect a range of expectations, with a consensus price target of $142, suggesting slight downside from the current price. The most bearish case sees the stock dropping to $95, while the most bullish scenario projects a rise to $200. This spread highlights differing views on AMD's risk and reward, as the company navigates a rapidly evolving market. AMD faces several risks and challenges despite its strong momentum. The company's gaming revenue is down 30%, and its embedded segment has declined 3%, creating headwinds for overall growth. Macro and regulatory concerns such as potential trade restrictions, tariffs, and global economic fluctuations add further uncertainty. AMD also faces intense competitive pressure from NVIDIA in AI acceleration, and from Intel's renewed efforts in the CPU market, both of which could impact margins. In addition, ongoing supply chain volatility and manufacturing capacity limitations in the semiconductor industry remain persistent challenges. Looking ahead, AMD is positioning itself for future growth through a series of strategic moves. The company's recent acquisition of ZT Systems is aimed at enhancing its data center AI capabilities and expanding its enterprise solutions portfolio. AMD is also increasing its investment in research and development, prioritizing next-generation AI, GPUs, and CPUs. Additionally, the company anticipates a recovery in its gaming and embedded segments in late 2025 as market conditions improve, which could help offset current headwinds and drive further growth. AMD continues to deliver strong revenue growth, led by its data center and AI initiatives, with 36% year-over-year gains underscoring successful execution of strategic priorities. The company's financial health is improving thanks to solid margins and earnings growth, giving AMD more flexibility for future investments and potential shareholder returns. While the stock appears moderately valued with meaningful long-term upside, investors should remain aware of near-term risks in certain business segments and ongoing competitive pressures. Overall, AMD is well positioned for sustained growth in the semiconductor industry as AI adoption accelerates and data center expansion continues worldwide. So what do I think? Most people know that AMD plays second fiddle to NVIDIA in GPUs, but it's also second to Intel in CPUs. The big difference is that Intel's growth has slowed considerably, while AMD is experiencing strong growth, especially in data centers, where their CPU sales are rising rapidly. This is a real bright spot for AMD and is driving much of the company's momentum right now. As for the connection to Elon Musk, it's true that companies associated with Elon, including Tesla and xAI, do purchase chips and products from AMD. However, they also buy from NVIDIA and other semiconductor companies. Even if xAI becomes a massive success, I don't think AMD will benefit disproportionately. NVIDIA and others will get a significant share of that business too. Honestly, if you're looking for exposure to xAI, Tesla is probably the more direct play. That's the company most likely to integrate xAI technology into its vehicles and robotics platforms. Overall, I don't see a compelling reason to buy AMD over NVIDIA. While NVIDIA is much larger, meaning potentially less room for explosive growth, it still dominates the AI chip market and is the primary beneficiary of surging demand for AI chips, especially in data centers. If your thesis is that AI chip demand in data centers will keep growing, NVIDIA is still the leader and more likely to benefit. It's also worth noting that AMD and NVIDIA are trading at nearly identical forward PE ratios, so you aren't getting AMD at a discount relative to NVIDIA. In short, AMD is a strong company with real growth drivers, but NVIDIA remains the clear frontrunner in the AI chip space. And make sure to click the link in the description to get $50 off Alpha Picks. I reviewed over 100 stock picking services, and this one is by far the best. And they don't do any scummy marketing tactics every other company engages in. So if you want to put yourself in the best position to make money with stocks, click the link in the description now.